My name is Dennis, and I've been a volunteer with the Home+Front+Cares here in Colorado Springs for a little over 8 years. The biggest advantage that the Home+Front+Cares gives to the overall issue, in this community especially, and there are lots of good organizations out there doing lots of good things, but you can find multiple organizations that deal in things like therapy or housing or clothing or, just stuff. And when they initially formed this organization, they looked at the needs in the community. And what they found was that there was not an organization that could give short-term emergency financial help to the degree that it was needed. Other organizations, will sometimes accept requests for financial help, but the length, 2-3 weeks sometimes, to get an approval done doesn't meet the emergency needs. When we get a call saying, the husband is deployed, the wife is back here with 2 kids, they're shutting off the heat on Friday, and it's February. I'm being evicted at the end of the month, or my car is broken down, now I can't get to my job, and I'm going to lose it at the end of the week if I can't do that. So the Home+Front+Cares is unique in that, and we've looked at other areas and sometimes kind of push the fence out a little bit, and then we kind of bring it back in because we find that the organization has stayed true to its core mission. That's still what's needed, and they do it better than anybody I know.
Well, my name is Kelly Allred. I joined the military when I was 23. I was deployed to Iraq in 2008 through 2009. I was stationed with the Forward Surgical Team on Fob Delta, and we worked in a cache. They pretty much they brought a lot of different soldiers through that had emergencies, and we took care of them, and then we sent them over to Germany to be further taken care of. We were kind of like a stop point when the helicopters ran out of gas. We also took care of several burn patients that were from the foreign national country. I was diagnosed with subclinical PTSD that was brought on by severe depression and panic attacks. The root cause of my PTSD is a couple of personal things that happened to me in the service, as well as some of the treatments that we had given some of the patients in Iraq. Home+Front+Care helped me because at the time I had gone through a couple of mishaps. My car, the radiator blew up. And also I was just kind of in between money for a little while because of post 911. The policy had changed, and they weren't paying you if you hadn't been to school. So I was a couple months behind in my electricity. So I had gone to the VA, the vet center, and I was more of a mess than normal because I was stressed out about money. So they sent me to Home+Front+Care to Evelyn. Evelyn went so far as to not only pay the 2 months that I had asked for, she also paid an extra month on top of that. And she was just so nice throughout the whole process. I really felt like I was begging at the time, and it was super hard for me to even go to somebody. I like being self-reliant. I mean, the Army teaches you to be self-reliant. That's how it works. So the fact that she just made me feel so at ease and so at home was something as hard for me as asking for help or for money. That was just a really wonderful feeling. She did a lot to help me.
Another problem we see with this generation of soldiers too is this is a married generation, much more so than any previous conflict. So we're not dealing with single soldiers that perhaps the VA can meet most of their needs and stuff like that. We're dealing with soldiers with families and children. They're still fairly young. They might be in his, mid-20s or whatever. So that brings a whole new demographic to, his stress levels, his needs, all this other stuff. And so that's where the Home+Front+Cares excels.
Hi, my name is Jessica Jones. My husband, Robbie Jones. Our youngest, Peyton Jones. Oldest, Braden Jones. We started having financial difficulties about a month ago. And it's just both of us are disabled. And ends did meet. So We called HomeFrontCares after contacting millions and millions of people, it seemed like, and they responded immediately, saved our home, saved our electricity, saved our water. I mean, without HomeFrontCares, we wouldn't have a place to live right now. We wouldn't have a place to live, as simple as that. How many people out there that do struggle can contact somebody and immediately you have relief, you have help, and that's the miracle. I wish everybody, wish everybody had the miracle that we did. We are living proof that HomeFrontCares, they stand behind us, stand behind the military, especially the military. They stand behind us no matter what happens in our lives.
As they're getting off active duty, they're adjusting to civilian life. Maybe their VA benefits haven't kicked in yet, or they haven't finished their evaluations. And quite often there's a period of at least 2 or 3 months where there may be little or no income. And that's the most critical period for them, the most stressful, and that's where we jump in and help them get back on their feet. We have a duty and an obligation, okay? My generation was the generation that put them in this war. And we have a duty and an obligation when they come home to help them get back. We take them out of the society whole, and all too often we put them back in the society broken. And they need our support, they deserve our support, and it's our duty and our obligation to do that.